name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm playing Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello! Welcome back, everybody. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here playing Return of the Giants, the premiere 5th edition 2024 Dungeons & Dragons homebrew adventure. We are here. We are excited. We have so much to do in tonight's session following the incredible battle last week. We will get into the recap very, very shortly. We have returning to us Simon as Ember. Simon, welcome back.
Thank you. I got back all safely from China, which was great.
That is very good to hear. And you had a lovely time in China, I hear?
I did. Half work and half travel. So it was really nice to actually go see the Great Wall, do things like that. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi connection at the airport wasn't great, so I couldn't jump on for a little bit last week.
That's okay.
But,
that's all good.
I hear the session was a lot of fun anyway.
And I hear that you were served an extra special cultural meal during one of the work parts of the trip. Is it true that when it came to lunchtime, you were served macas by the people running the training?
Yes. I think they knew that there was a couple of Australians coming, and so we didn't have as much of a culture shock. They offered us McDonald's, which was an interesting choice.
So funny. How white did they think you guys were?
I must admit, they probably saw me walking through the door, and they probably placed the order within the first 10 minutes. So, yeah.
You had a knife and fork with your burger.
Yeah. Oh, very fancy. Pinkies out as well. You've got to make sure you keep the... How was the Macca's? Was it anything interesting, or was it just classic Macca's?
It was like a chicken breast burger, like a actual thigh fillet thing. It was good, actually. I can't complain.
That's right.
No, it wasn't like a crumb breast, but it was
Okay.
It was good. I can't complain aside from the fact that it was McDonald's, but
you were in China to experience the culinary delights that are there. China has a very, very large menu on offer of delicious food, an expansive menu of delicious food. I do find it hilarious that in this moment you're there with a bunch of other Aussies and they're like, quick, get those whiteies Maccas.
Well, that's it.
What would you say was the most what do you think was the most interesting thing that you had while you were there?
Good question.
I did end up having the stinky tofu, which was quite good. It wasn't as... I like blue cheeses and things like that, so I could probably compare it to that. It's just a mold, essentially. But we had that... I did a food tour on my first night, because not being Chinese, I thought that's probably the best way to go to get introduced to the culture. And we went to a 94-year-old woman's house that does stuff for the tour, and it was their own family recipe. So good fun. Can recommend.
Probably can't get much more authentic than that, than going to someone's house who's been cooking it for ostensibly 84 years.
Exactly. Especially when they're yelling at you in another language. So.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Good fun.
Well, we're very pleased to have you back. I obviously don't love having to play player characters, and I hope I played Ember true to form. I know you haven't had a chance to listen yet because you only literally just got back this weekend. So when you do catch up, hopefully I have played Ember as you would have played him.
I see fire on the field. That's as much as I can ask for.
Yeah,
so
that's true. All you have to just see on the battle map a massive, what's that? 10, 20, 30, 40 foot wall of fire. I know when you first looked in, I saw your eyes go wide a little bit. I was like, he's noticed the flames. The dominant aspect of the map right now, giant wall of flame. Just as well.
Fantastic. but right in the middle of everyone. I love it. It's so good.
Niles was there actually right up until he went down and had to quickly make an escape over towards Harry to maintain consciousness and life. So,
we were like tank fighting 2v, 4 or 5?
It was impressive.
Cool.
Yeah.
With support from
it was King Hunmar, it was Obsidian Foot, and it was the 2 elite guards. So it was pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. If it hadn't been for the lucky crit from Obsidian Foot, I think I probably would have been able to have stayed in that fight a little longer. But no, did not see that one coming.
And just as that has been said, a little spoiler has come up for the stream there in the art overlay. We do indeed have new artwork for Harry. I haven't even have I shown you Dave the new artwork? I think I have. No, I haven't.
Oh, good.
You showed me Harry, but I don't know if you mean the other thing.
I haven't done so. Figment I'm not going to show tonight. Figment I'm still working on the last bits of it, but I will share the new updated portrait of Harry. For those of you who are watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you will have just seen the little artwork pop up then. I'm going to bring it up on the screen now for everybody else. Harry has changed. His dominant hand has changed a little bit since we last saw it. The metallic part of his arm has now spread all the way down his forearm and up to the very top of his shoulder. Harry is now a bionic bunny, at least on the right-hand side of his body.
Like Homer when he buys that dumbbell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So I better make sure we do the recap so we get into how this particular event has happened. And I am very much looking forward to using this new artwork on the title card. I didn't use it for last week's episode because I felt like it would probably hint people, like clue people in as to what's happening, be a bit of a spoiler for the actual episode. So I'll use it for this next one. But unless we've got anything fun to share and jump into, let's do our recap and jump into the session. Oh, there is one fun thing to share. Everyone has leveled up since our last session. So at the end of end of the fight. Normally, I like to wait for a long rest, but in the interests of expediency and not sort of sitting around while people do level ups. For those of you who've had some time today to do your level ups, you may obviously you've got them there ready to go. For those of you who haven't done your level ups, feel free to do them right now while I'm going through the recap. Most of the features and stuff you'll unlock at the next long rest anyway, but I'm happy for you to update the character sheets right now. Alrighty, let's jump in. Let's do this. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the giants to Nostea. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew are exploring the vast caverns of the Underdark, drawn below by rumours of stone giants taking over territory after forming some strange alliance with the Duergar. Having made their way through the treacherous terrain of the Underdark, befriending the deep gnomes of Blindenstone along the way, the party have infiltrated the remnants of the lost stone giant city of Ton Tenur, the City of Stone Teeth, and unmasked Obsidian Foot as the cause of the stone giant's aggression. After entering the dwarven-controlled region of the city, the team soon found evidence the dwarves had been here for some time, converting sections of the city to their own needs. A large part of the operation seemed to be focused on the collection of giant metal to melt it down, its unique properties making it ideal for strong but lightweight armor. Watching Obsidian Foot use the power of a corrupted Heartstone to appear as the leader of the stone giants, Elder Hunmar, the party attracted the attention of the Duergar Stone Guard. Captured and brought to the command tower, the team was surprised to find an Owlin arriving at the same time, who Niles recognized as his cousin Nyx. The team soon learned that Obsidian Foot had been working with the Silverwind family through Nyx, creating armor for them from the remnants of the giant-made alloy. The control Obsidian Foot exerted over the stone giants originated from a Heartstone that had been reactivated through a deal with a devil, the sacrifice of souls to this devil as part of the bargain. Realizing this information could potentially be used to turn the rest of the Duergar against Obsidian Foot, the team tried to trick him into summoning the devil into the room. However, their attempts unfortunately ended up angering the Duergar, and combat ensued. The conflict soon spread outside the doors of their little prison, the Duergar on duty rushing forward to take out the perceived threat to their leader. With Nyx joining the fight on the side of the party, Obsidian Foot realized the danger he was now in and pulled a soul coin from his pocket, summoning the devil too, and promising it anything he wanted in exchange for getting Obsidian Foot away from the danger. With their master suddenly vanishing in a pillar of flame, Bart quoted the deal between the devil and Obsidian Foot to the remaining Duergar, creating a moment of confusion the party used to reveal what they knew. Showing off the ritual circle the devil had created to take the souls of any Duergar Obsidian Foot decreed would be sacrificed, a temporary truce was agreed upon between the deep dwarves of the party. Suddenly, a messenger arrived from outside the tower, reporting a group of stone giants attacking the dwarven encampment. The party all gathered in Obsidian Foot's study, hoping to come up with a plan, but while they were discussing their options, the room suddenly began to shake. Rushing to the door, the party looked down as the room was carried away towards the center of the city by an enormous stone hand. But, in the meantime, reclaimed his amputated wings and turned towards the ritual circle, intending to consider a deal with the devil. Right on cue, the devil arrived, revealing that he had previously met with the party under the guise of a tiefling called Vice back in Laspire. After some back and forth, where some of the party came very close to agreeing to give the devil the hammer in exchange for helping the gnomes and reattaching Bart's wings, the party decided against calling upon the infernal help offered. The room soon crashed down into a familiar location, the center of the stone giant city. However, the once beautiful stonework had been ravaged by time. Standing before them was the desiccated corpse of Elder Hunmar. Riding on his shoulder was Obsidian Foot, animating the corpse with infernal magic, flanked by a number of giant warriors still under the influence of his magic. The party leapt into battle, some powerful spellcasting and smiting quickly destroying the corpse of Elder Hunmar and starting to awaken the giants from the Duergar's influence. While Ember focused on maintaining his wall of fire and trying to win the giants over to his side, Bart, Lyra, and Niles unleashed their most brutal attacks on Obsidian Foot, his form rapidly becoming more and more demonic in appearance. Taking advantage of the chaos, Harry rushed over to the interface linked to the power supply and placed his heartstone against it, allowing his warlock patron Figment to take control. The party watched on as the metal coating Harry's hands slowly crept up to cover his entire arm, before an explosion of light and power was unleashed in the center of the dais. Bart used this momentary distraction and powerful radiant energy to destroy Obsidian Foot's corporeal form, the burning flesh giving way to a wretched and broken soul that the devil Vice immediately collected. Offering Bart a soul coin and promising that he would be seeing the party very shortly, the devil took Obsidian Foot's soul with him. We left off last session, though, as the last of the corrupted magic evaporated with Obsidian Foot's death, the giants blinking in surprise as they stare down at the party. And that is where we left off. As all of you stand in the very center, the dais, the massive explosion of energy that originated in the very center of the dais, is now starting to die down. This sudden release of power slowly coming down to a trickle. But all around you, you watch as tendrils and veins of light begin to snake their way across the ground, moving through veins and arteries made of stone and metal buried amongst the floor. One by one, you watch as the stone teeth all around you, the massive stone towers rising from the floor and lowering from the ceiling, begin to light, one by one, as the energy unleashed from the power core flows back into the city once again. As you all stand there, Ember, your wall of flame burning away, a roaring inferno in front of you, you see the charred corpse of the demonic form Obsidian Foot took on, laying there. In front of it, still slightly steaming from the heat, is a large foot carved out of obsidian, just sitting off to one side. Next to it, only about 2 or 3 meters away, or say 10, 15 feet, you can see a pile of ash where the proud Elder Hunmar once stood. The remains of this undead form that Obsidian Foot took control of, now crumbling away into nothing. The last few vestiges of his form, the chunks that were still remaining, slowly dissipating and coming apart into dust. Standing above Bart, 2 massive stone giant warriors clad in armor of crystal look upon the scene, eyes wide as they examine the area around them. But you hear one of them next to you speak in giant. At this point, the connection's still active. All of you can kind of make out a little bit of what's being saying here. What is this? We are in the waking world, yet I dreamt with eyes wide open. as the giant looks around, confused. I pass over to all of you. You can see around the dais 10, 12, 20, 40 stone giants visible in the light here, moving forwards, looking around. Those that were grieving the loss of Elder Hunmar now pointing in confusion, the message being spread rapidly that Ember started. That is not your leader. It is an illusion.
The ones that were...
Yeah.
I was going to say the ones that the one that was sort of questioning it's like, I'm awake. Is it sort of one of the giants that are really near us or sort of?
Yeah, the two stone giant warriors, the stone giant warrior on the right, the one closest to Ember's flame. You watch as they say this, they reach out a hand into the flame and then pull it back, the fire burning as they look. I feel pain. I feel awake again as it looks around.
You are awake. You've all been affected by devil magic.
As you call this out in common, Lyra, you watch as the giant right next to you, the one literally on top of you who'd been walking across the bridge, squints as it looks down. You are a dream from the sleeping world above. What are you doing in our waking world? As it looks down at you, Lyra.
We are all waking. I speak so through Etringer, and I'm going to raise the heartstone in my hand.
As you do so, a flash of light emanates from each of your heartstones, briefly synchronized for a moment. You watch as the giants, their attention suddenly drawn to the lights on the back of your hands. The stone giant warrior, the one on the left, Bart, who's right next to you, kneels down in front of you, holds up their hand, and they look at the heartstone embedded in their hand, and then look at the heartstone in your hand.
I'll reach forward to touch like we did with me and Lyra, session 1.
Are they magnetic?
Bartholomew. They are. As your tiny Owlin hand comes forwards, the massive stone giant fist, like this hand that's as large as you are, reaches forwards, and you place your hand upon. There's this sudden...
As I place my hand, can I at the same time do the greeting from the dream? Place my hand on his, but can I try to sort of reach my forehead forward? Obviously he's enormously high, but start that almost bowing gesture for him to at least recognize maybe?
Yeah, 100%. Very nice. As you place your hand upon the heartstone, you feel that momentary attraction as your hand is pulled towards it. And as it does so, you lower your head down, ready to press it against the forehead of the giant. As your head is focused downwards, your eyes focus downwards as well, you feel a sudden momentary rush of air and then feel the gentlest touch. A stone, this rough, stony skin, presses against your forehead. And as you lean back up and look, you see the giant, eyes wide, this almost amethyst-like iris, softly glowing of crystal, gazes down at you, and as it cocks its head, you hear the voice emanate once again. I feel your pain. I see you, waking one.
I see you. We need your help. Hunmar may be gone, but the soul of his heir still needs support. And I'm going to sort of guide both of our heads, almost like lovers that have just kissed and look in the same direction. And I'm going to look towards Harry, hoping to turn both of our heads.
I kind of give Harry a bit of a tap and go, oh, look, they're looking at us. Well, they're looking at you, actually.
Harry waves.
Hunmar's heir's soul still has purpose. Help us, please.
You watch as the giant focuses on Harry and slowly stands, the susurrus of voices around you beginning to rise to a crescendo as the warrior clad in amethyst armor holds up a hand and closes it suddenly. You hear the entire auditorium, the entire amphitheater grow silent all at once. And you watch as the heartstone on the back of their hand flickers for a moment. And then you hear their voice emanate, louder, magnified, echoing through the whole city as crystals begin to vibrate in time with their voice. The language is still unfamiliar fully, but you catch snippets of what's being said. The giant is addressing the people, calling for the stone giants to gather, to come together in the center.
Whoa.
Elder Hunmar is gone, but his heartstone remains.
Oh, yeah.
And all around you, you see motion in the shadows as more and more stone giants begin to emerge from the wreckage of their once beautiful city. The lights making it easy to see.
Call
Yeah.
Harry and Niles to come over as this is happening.
Yeah.
Yep. I gotta give Harry another tap and go, I probably should head over there.
Yeah, I think they need me over the...
At this point as well, you can see some of the giants squinting at the flames from Ember's wall of fire. The magic no longer clouding their minds. Now their behavior is much more congruent to a normal stone giant. You watch as they like squint against the flames.
Yeah, perhaps you should get rid of that fire for a sec there.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a burns risk for people at the moment. They're not quite sure what to do. So,
that myself got a little bit singed back there. Let's want to get singed again.
Harry, now that you're here, I'm not sure what they're saying as everyone gathers around. Can you make an illusion of Svifnerblin? You need to tell them we need to save and protect this small race.
Make them remember the treaty that the giants signed.
The problem, Niles, is that the treaty was with giants. We don't know what races they know and don't know for back then. I don't want them to mistake a Svifnerblin for a Duergar and just start stomping everything that's tiny and grey.
I agree. I think we should give them a crash course in the waking world. I think that would be a good idea.
I don't know how long we have to guide them and teach them, though. As I'm guessing, we still hear fighting in the distance of the city.
Yes.
Well, that's the funny thing. As soon as that call echoes out through the city, the sound of combat slowly fades into nothingness in the distance.
Oh.
The lights far away in the dwarf-controlled region of Tontanur, the lights flicker. And then you begin to see shapes moving in the darkness towards the city. That call, summoning all the stone giants, you get the sense that's probably gone out through the whole city. You could hear it echoing. The fight that's currently happening over in the dwarven control part of the city, that's probably on pause right now, with all the giants coming to this one place all at once.
In that case, noticing that, I'll look towards, I guess, like everyone for a moment, including Harry. I'm a lot more at peace now. Do we really need to finish off the rest of the Duergar just because of the way their leader was?
I don't think the Duergar...
Possibly.
Yes.
I mean, did we hear any explosions during the fight? Like, I know it's a bit difficult with other fighting going on, but there wasn't anything that sounded like, gunfire / heads exploding or anything.
Lyra, do you want to make me a perception check to see if you picked that up during the combat? I know, it's one of those things that maybe you might have picked some up during the fight. 23. Lyra, the sound that you heard right towards the end, as you watched as Obsidian Foot dropped his hammer and began to transform into that horrific demonic creature, you did hear a very loud explosion, a single explosion. With a 23, you know it's way too much to have been one of the collars. This was something much bigger. And as you look over in the direction that you, back towards the dwarven control part of the city, you can see that massive section of tower, the command tower that the dwarves have taken control of. It's a lot brighter than it should be just from torchlight. A lot brighter.
Oh.
And shorter as well.
Was that where the ritual circle was?
Quite possibly. No, the ritual circle's in the room with you. Remember that room got picked up and dropped in the sense that, so right, that pile of rubble behind you, the ritual circle, what's left of it would be there. But Lyra, the section with
probably unprotected now.
Hard to say.
Yeah, so guys, unless you guys heard something, I think hopefully the Swift, I can never pronounce that word. Svifniblin's heads are still intact. I think it's probably a bit of a ticking time bomb, though. I mean, the Duergar seemed very, very open into blowing them up. Sorry about that. I accidentally turned that into a...
They are leaderless, though, and from what we saw, at least in the cell chambers, open to negotiation. Now that we hold the bigger stick, and I'll sort of gesture up to the two giant warriors, maybe we could convince them to let this fifth nobleman go and leave this city.
I would be very careful. Something I've picked up on the Duergar is that they seem to value survival among all else to survive in the Underdark. And survival means that they get desperate. I would be acting quickly if that's the case.
I agree, but we do know that unlike Obsidian Foot, their goal was simply protecting their people, right? They didn't care as much about the mines. They wanted to make sure that their own families were safe, even if there are some sticks in the mud like that side-burned one.
That is a good point. It could be worth talking to them if they're open to it.
I just don't want any more death than what needs to happen. Harry, do you want to talk?
I was going to say, above your heads, a conversation is currently taking place in Giant. It's odd. You're not seeing many words being spoken, but you can see a lot of hand signs as the giants begin to talk. This combination of the giant language and a movement across their hands with very rapid, quick motions. You can hear the occasional word. The connection is fading fast now with that sudden release of energy from the central. Yeah.
Before the connection completely goes, can I try to finger on the ground the stone giant word for hello with their writing?
Yeah,
you know how it's like a physical thing rather than the spoken thing?
Yeah. Can I get you to make me, I'm going to say this probably falls under an intelligence check. I know that's not your fave. Sorry. You've been gifted advantage. You've been gifted advantage from this. You've been given. We've got channel points from. Yeah. It's up to you. You don't have to spend it now. You can save that advantage when you need it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to save the advantage.
Harry would like to help as well because he's like, no, use the as being a stone giant. Yep.
Can I take the help action?
Yeah.
The advantage from that?
Yeah.
I'll save the stream one because 15's already pretty good, but if I can get better from just a free roll, that'd be lovely.
No, 100%. So the advantage.
Natural one.
Natural one.
We're going to keep
we'll take the 15.
And I'll save the stream for something else because 15's not too bad.
Harry.
Fingers crossed.
I like to think that with the natural one from Harry's help, it like his help.
It's not that the natural
correct,
ones from Harry's help.
It's reaffirming that you are correct. You're like, no, what Harry's saying is wrong. It's definitely this. So
fair enough. As you carve out the series of dots and lines, how are you carving it out? What are you using out of interest?
Literally just my finger. It's not going to be a huge thing. I'm hoping that.
It's in stone.
I know.
Yeah. What you could do.
Ash on the ground from the flames?
What you could do. Yeah, there is some ash. What you could also do as well, because you know that the language is. It's embossed so that you can feel it rather than see it. It's not a language to be seen. It's a lot like Braille in our world.
Oh, okay.
What you could do is just use some of the rubble behind you. Just align the rubble. Otherwise, Lyra's also got Shape Earth. Or Moldstone.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you just sort of draw it in the dirt, I can just...
Yeah, sink the dirt in. Yeah, perfect.
That was...
Done. As the three of you work together, well, Harry impedes you, and your success carries on regardless as you use the ash from the fire to carve out the letters. Lyra then following up using her mold earth. You watch as the giants, who are having this very intense conversation above you, the two warriors dressed in the amber crystal-like armor, the amethyst-like crystal armor. The giant who's right next to you, Lyra, strides over and joins them. Soon you see all three talking in hushed tones as more and more stone giants begin to filter in all around. As the conversation continues, the giant who sort of stepped over Lyra and headed over to join the two warriors, you watch as they pause for a second, look back, see the language carved out on the stone, nudge one of the warriors, and then as they reach down and run their fingers across it, you watch as they turn towards you, and then in common say, "Hello, dreamers.
Did you hear my request? We can't understand what you're saying. Will you help us? Will you help the leftover soul that rests here? And I'll sort of push Harry forward to the front of our group.
We are yet to decide what to do. Our leader, our wise Elder Hunmar, has been slain, and it appears it was some time ago. Our memories are still returning. We are struggling to separate the waking from the dreaming. That magic, wielded by that diminutive form, has addled our concept, addled our perceptions. You, creature, step forward. As it turns towards you, Harry.
Harry sheepishly steps forward.
Your form is unfamiliar, yet your arm, crystal it bears, and the change that has overtaken it. What resides inside your stone, little one?
Can Harry just quickly check in with Figment
Yes.
and see if it wants to be revealed or not?
Yeah, that's probably a good call. As you quickly turn your attention inwards, Harry, focusing on the conversation communication with Figment, there's a momentary pause, and then you hear,
Harry, I feel different, Harry. Sorry. How can I help you, Harry?
We'll check in about the different thing later. That's good because you were a bit down before. The stone giants are asking about what resides in. They've seen the metal arm, and they were wondering. Yeah, should I tell them you exist, or what should I describe you as? I don't want to tell them anything that you're not comfortable with.
I am not sure, Harry. I am afraid of what will happen if they find out and know something more about me. My memories, they are not fully returned, but I have more than I had before. But perhaps it is time to trust. I think you can reveal me, Harry.
Okay, but if things go wrong, I got your back.
Thank you, Harry. I really appreciate that. I've got your back too. And your arm.
In my arm? Yeah. Yeah, our arm. Okay, yeah, sure thing. Yeah, Mr. Stone Giant, sir. We have a consciousness in my arm, going by the name of Figment. Here, I'll show you. And Harry would like to focus on allowing Figment to project himself out of the arm.
nice. This is the first time all of you have seen this. This is the very first time I think any of you have seen Figment. So here is what you see. As Harry concentrates, closing his eyes for a brief moment, you watch as the glowing green stone embedded in his hand, now with his metal form, the stone is visible both on the inside and the outside of his hand, both the front and the back. It goes through the entire midsection of his hand, now that it is made of metal and stone and gearwork. As he holds up his hand, you watch as this green glow begins to increase in luminosity, as wisps of this green mist begin to emanate. As it flickers and glitches for a moment, a form begins to take shape within the light cast by the stone. Rising, curling around Harry's arm, clutching onto his shoulder, you see a small form, not much larger than Flicker. A white, almost marble, metallic head, very similar to a mask, with these articulated rabbit-like ears, sits holding on with these semi-translucent mechanical hands as it holds onto Harry's shoulder. And you look as these three hollow eyes suddenly glow with green light. As the mask cocks its head and looks around at each of you, as you hear
hello there. It's good to see you, and good to be seen.
As Figment turns, mostly to look at the rest of the party first, and then up at the stone giants.
Look, Bart's not the best of it. Insight check on the stone giants when they see Figment for the first time and their reaction. If it is happy, angry, I feel like their initial reaction might be very important, considering I know its connection to Anem.
I might insight check Figment.
Oh, fair enough. Absolutely. Ali, you looked like you were thinking something.
Never mind.
I just wave and say hi to Figment. Nice to meet you.
Harry thinks you're waving to him, and Harry waves back.
Yeah, nice.
I got a 5 on the giants.
5 on the giants, 8 on Niles. I love it. You do have the inspiration summoned from...
No. I've been explaining in the chat. I'm saving it for the Duergar negotiations because I'm still really set on saving Flick, the lesbian partner.
Oh, true. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
for the deep gnome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's actually a 9. Sorry.
Oh. I'm sorry, Poppy. I will not make that mistake again. I am so sorry, Poppy. I will not make that mistake again with your dad. Ali, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is it too late to also do an insight check on the giants, just to sort of glance over and sort of see?
You announced that after you saw the result of his roll, and after you said I waved. Unfortunately, I do think you're doing this more because of Christian's bad roll in this instance than something that Lyra wanted to do. However, you may roll an insight check. You know, as you look over, you watch as Bartholomew sort of like takes a moment, glances at the giants, and then looks back at Flicker. Not Flicker, sorry, looks back at Figment, completely ignoring the giants. Lyra. There's a mixture of reactions. Most are surprised as they look down at this form. The stone giant warrior, the one that spoke to you first, the one that revealed that they were now awake, they were no longer bound by the vision. It looks concerned. And the stone giant that was standing next to you, the one not clad in the amethyst armor, just in these almost like the best way to describe a lot of the clothing that you see on the stone giants, a lot of it is actually a different color shade, like a different shade of stone that clings to their body, almost like a morph suit, I guess, in a way, this thin bodysuit that covers sections of their form, splitting into different strata and colors. It's very beautiful to look at, but it's not really clothing in the same sense of the word that and how you imagine it. Same as the armor has kind of grown from their form. It's not added on, they're not wearing it, it's actually grown from them. It looks like their clothing is the same. What they wear and what you perceive as clothing is actually just different colorations and different types of rock that have moved and spread across their body. The one that is wearing this sort of like layered, almost like a sedimentary, dark igneous sandstone coloration, as they stand there and look at Figment, they look curious, very curious. So we've got confused, concerned, curious. 3 C's, the trifecta of 3 C's, as you look.
Do you guys know of Figment?
The stone giant nearest...
Out, right?
Yeah, no, the stone giant nearest to you, Lyra, turns and looks at you. No, I know not of this entity Figment, but it looks like something the storm giants were playing around with. A mind and a soul inside a machine.
Look, this is as good a time as any, and I don't know when we're gonna. This is like I wanted to speak to a dragon, to learn things of ancient past. I'm speaking to a mother truckin' giant. I actually look. I'm starting to build a stronger relationship with the party. I'm going to whisper to Harry, "Are you okay if I tell them that it's the essence of Anem?"
Do we know it's the essence of Anem? Like,
I saw some shit when I saw Figment.
Okay, well, to be honest, I'm just going by you and it. So,
I just wanted to check with you. Is Figment okay with it?
I do not think I am a god. My records of Anem indicate he was a powerful being. Creator of this world and creator of the giants. I am just a program.
Something for you to possibly consider, Figment, but a lot of science often is seen as magic originally. I think originally when you were whole, you were an Side note for now, and I'm going to turn towards the giants. This entity the storm giants created, we think is connected to Anam. What is your knowledge of Anam?
Almost simultaneously, the voices of the giants overlap. Not just the three right in front of you, all the stone giants. All at once, every single one of them exclaims, Eru Ithu Alai. And the one that's standing above you, Lyra, pauses for a moment and then looks down and repeats in common, Anam lives in us. Anam is destroyed. Our god, broken and betrayed. Anam is dead.
Betrayed by who? Yes.
We know not who the betrayers were, but we have our suspicions. There
The
was
dragons
only
and elves.
one god. Yes. The dragons, the elves, and the dwarves. They were the first to arrive on our world. They brought with them their gods, or their gods arose here, we know not. But these new gods were threatened.
Are you children of the original giants, or were you here back when Hunmar ruled, back when the treaty was signed?
Some of us are children. Most of us were here. Most of us were alive when the sound and the noise broke the waking and sent us tumbling through the void.
The white.
I have a question. Sorry, Bart. I've been meaning to ask this. My understanding of when the giants were removed from this realm for us for quite a long time. For the giants, not as long a time. And I mean, I understand that your memories are a bit foggy, but did you all go? Did you all leave this world for that time, or did some of you remain?
Not a single giant remained on Nostea. At once, as the sound echoed through our halls and the light blinded our eyes, we found ourselves in the void. The astral sea, as you call it.
But King Hunmar did he? I mean, I'm sorry for your fallen king, but he must have fallen before that, if that is the case. Unless something happened in the astral sea that you resided in.
Was he alive in the astral sea?
King Hunmar did not come with us. We knew at that moment our king was dead. Yet, when we returned, he was here, alive and resplendent. He promised us the return of our once great city, our rise to power once again.
So Obsidian Foot wasn't responsible for his skull. Oh, this is more to Niles. Wasn't responsible for his skull. That means something occurred back with that flash of white light. Something happened all the way back then.
Well, maybe not even the flash of light. The flash of light seemed to take the giants out of Nostea. There could have been another event that happened.
It could have been, but yes, you're right. But it means that something happened back in that timeline, something in our dreams, something big enough to be the assassination of a leader of one of the clans.
You speak so fast. This tongue, this language you speak is not one we are as familiar with, yet I heard you mention dreams. You walk the halls of our ancestors. You walk through the dream of metal, the dream of flesh, the dream of minds no longer here.
Yes. Each of us is connected, some to other clans, not of stone.
How is it your stones resonate with the same power as Elder Hunmar's? Your stones are different. You wield them as giants. as giants of royalty, yet you are no giants. Although, you watch as it looks towards Ember, there is something of the giant blood about you.
I believe I'm very distantly related to, and we also have another colleague who, it's been a bit of a battle and been separated, but he also is a giant kin.
And
You may
some
have
of
sensed his
us
presence in
remain.
the city.
I do not sense any presence in the city of other giants. Our heartstones do not work in such a way. We lack the resonance.
I don't know if it's the answer or not, but I do remember, I think I'm one of the unique ones where my dream class is the same as my actual class.
You are the only person who decided to go double up on the Echo class and the main class.
I have that sort of, I guess, first-hand experience of knowing that the Paladin powers have evolved almost like weaponry, bow and arrows turning into gunpowder, turning into machine automatic firing weapons. Paladin powers started very, very basic, even if they were powerful for these giant creatures, but they have been refined. So I'll answer him, we maybe have control over it as the world has advanced since you've been gone. And I'm actually going to go up. He mentioned at the start, and I wanted to do this, but this is a lovely roleplay moment. He mentioned his mind was still very foggy from Obsidian Foot's tampering and almost like lobotomy. I want to use 5 points of lay on hands to remove a condition from him and hope to remove that condition, showing him the power and also maybe waking him up completely.
As you place your hand upon the leg of the stone giant, this is the one that's clad in that beautiful amethyst armor. As you place your hand on its leg, there's the pulse as your magic connects, and as this wave of healing energy moves through, you watch as the giant blinks a few times, and the slight clouding of the crystalline eyes fades, revealing these brilliant, beautiful crystals set in the face of stone. And as the giant looks down at you, I thank you. My mind is clear once more. Yes, I now see the dreaming and the waking. We were in our waking world. The Underdark, you call it. Yet that creature, that Obsidian Foot, you called him, he used infernal magic of the hells, to cloud our eyes, confuse and muddle our minds. Elder Hunmar was dead, and his son before him, just before the light. He was in mourning. The city was in mourning. That was the day we were taken.
I'm going to turn to Niles again. Forget Hunmar. All of our giants died. What happened to those that our stones were embedded into? Wasn't Threign belonging to one of the strongest fighters of that age? How the hell did someone take him down? And not just Hunmar, but Hunmar's child.
Hunmar was no fighter. He was a wise leader. But his son, he was strong. Utnir, the brave. Utnir, the unbroken.
I look back at Bart. Well, we haven't quite confirmed that they might still be alive or not. I mean, Sindaris, well, he's a cloud giant. I mean, surely if we return to the surface, we could ask Sinmare where they are, if they know, if she knows where they are currently.
I don't know about your experience so far. Actually, stone giants, do these come out for any circumstance other than death?
Once a stone is bonded, it is attached to your very soul. Your flesh is merely the vessel. Your mind is what carries the power. No, even death cannot fully release you from the stone, for you are bound to it just as it is bound to you.
I have two questions. One is, have you ever known of the stones to merge together into one stone to later be broken up into individual pieces? I mean, before they were embedded into our hand, it was kind of like one long stony stuffy bit, wasn't it? But the other thing is, the infernal magic that you felt. Had you felt that before your time in the void? I mean, was the infernal magic around way back then?
Demons and devils have always plagued, always tried to break through. They predate Nostea, as Anam has taught. Demons and devils of the 9 hells have fought for time immemorial. We have battled against them at times, incursions in the deep places, but this magic was more powerful. They have grown. The arms race between them has empowered both, most likely, and our time in the astral sea has left us adrift.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Lyra. All of us should most likely do this. My name is Bartholomew.
We know your names. Your names echo in our minds through the stones that you carry.
What are your names? We can.
Which name?
Oh,
Niles, Lyra, Harry, Ember, and Bartholomew. And
it's a
Threign. That is the one you speak of. Yes.
He's Giantkin, yes. Same as Ember.
We do not have the same connections as you do. It's a commonplace among our kind to exchange this as a greeting. Would you mind telling us, through your voice, your name?
I am Elikia. It is Magadan and Oris.
I'm sorry, just to confirm, Elikia and Magadan are the two. They're the two warriors, and Oris is the one in sort of the robes?
Yes, that is correct. Elikia, Magadan, and Oris. I'll type it in chat so you got them.
Well, I guess the hard question I'm wanting to ask is, you don't suppose that Elder Hunmar or his son, or the giants that our echoes embody, if they were killed perhaps by the devils? I mean, these stones, before they came into our possession, they were in possession of the same one that was making Elder Hunmar seem less dead.
I don't know. That vice seemed to want the weapon fairly badly. I feel like if it knew about these, they wouldn't be on this plane of existence.
Did he want the weapon, or did he want the stone that was in the weapon?
He just said the hammer.
He did. But Bart, you've used your magics. You haven't been able to detect anything infernal from the stones.
And remember,
not once.
Bart picked up his stone down here, not from. So, and same as Harry. Harry and Ember both picked up their stone.
Threign.
Yeah, and Threign.
Threign
The only two people with the
tribe.
stone from Vice is Lyra and Niles.
I think.
Oh, did you guys get yours?
Harry was.
Wait, where did you two receive your stone from?
No. So when we came across Vice back in the Spire, well, we thought that Vice was just a tavern hand, and
you got your stones from Vice.
Well,
we sent all of them.
It's not like he handed them over to us. We stumbled upon a cache. I thought it was some sort of.
It melted through the floor.
It melted through the floor, and it landed on my hand.
I'm happy with that. As long as he didn't give you to them, it wasn't a plan of his. If you stole them, it means that he was in their possession, and that you took them unwillingly. It's not a trap. I hope.
Or is it, Bartholomew?
Yeah.
No, you don't hear that. You don't hear that.
It didn't coincidentally fall off a shelf.
Now that I think back,
melted the floor.
Now that we know what's happened, sorry, this is a little bit off topic, and I know we had our friends about us who we were very eager to talk to. But just quickly, back in the Spire, Harry went to try and steal that heart of gold from the basement, right? And then it didn't go very well. Vice was very mad at us, and then Mirror came and smoothed things over. But now that I know that Vice is dead, what exactly did Mirror do? And what did she say to make things better?
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't a heart of gold.
Whatever it was. Vice was very particular about it. Anyway, we should probably talk and mention that when we see.
Was Mira your connection through Vice back then?
Well, we didn't know. We didn't know that Vice was devil until, well, recently.
So you just stumbled across his establishment? There was no purpose for you going there?
It was a tavern. It was a tavern, and they were being attacked by giants.
Unaffected by the mechanical creatures that overrun the spire.
So,
was that the only place that was unaffected by the magical creatures?
Correct.
Well, I mean, after we got the stones...
I've been sitting on this shit for like almost 6 months.
And then also when the stone was embedded into our hands, it stopped being protected by the...
It did,
from the,
yes, almost immediately.
The giant constructs.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, that's a lot.
Okay. Now that we have introduced, I know that we've asked a lot of you. I hope that we've given you some information and peace of mind around Hunmar and others. Elikia, would you mind accompanying us to talk with the dwarves of this land, now known as Duergar, and try to talk about the freeing of the deep gnomes? They've taken a race into slavery.
We will come with you. We must purge our city of these interlopers, remove them from our lands.
A common enemy.
They are no enemy. They are pests to be driven out of our home.
Pests that were making you all work as slaves but a moment ago. Do not underestimate them.
As Elikia says this, you watch as Oris pauses, cocks their head for a moment. Wait. We should not judge one. We should not judge many on the actions of one. Do they follow their leader?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. When they found that he was sacrificing their colleagues to Vice, then they kind of decided that he wasn't a good leader.
Our first act, now that we are awake, should not be violence. We
Agreed.
The hand of Anam. His stone will given flesh. We should act according to the old ways. You watch as Elikia shakes his head. Or shakes their head, I should say. No. Anam is dead. We must carve ourselves a new purpose. Drive these pests from our home. Exterminate them. And then we must study these 5 here, who bear the will of our ancestors, who bear our stones as if they were us. It's at this moment, Oris places a hand forwards on Elikia's shoulder, slowly removes the helmet. As they reach up and grab the stone, you watch as it flows down their wrist, almost like a liquid, as the amethyst crystal begins to move and forms almost like a gauntlet on their hand, as they reveal their head. Please stop. They may not be giant kin, but they are bonded to the stones, and we will treat them as giant kin nonetheless. They
I'm
are
going to
our
actually
brothers.
loudly talk as well. And you all agreed. Your people signed the treaty.
As you say this and speak up, Oris turns and tries to sort of make a bit of a shushing motion, but Elikia turns towards you. We signed the treaty with the storm giants, not with you diminutive creatures. You have stolen our home, stolen our god, and stolen our very souls in your hands. You watch as Oris turns, both hands up, places them on his shoulders and places her head against theirs. Please, Elikia. Elder Hunmar's last wish is to act in accordance with the treaty. We will not break it here. We will not dishonor his name and his memory. He was the wisest of us. And we lost him as he mourned his son, our future leader. We will not do this, Elakir. You watch as Elakir turns, strides away towards the giant obsidian crystal, one that's been split and broken in half, without another word, leaving Magadan and Oris standing before you. Come, I will take you to the part of the city where they stand, and we will talk. They must understand these are giant lands. They will depart at once. I cannot restrain Elakir's wrath for long.
Is it Magadan or
Oris talking.
Oh, Oris, okay.
Magadan has a much sort of softer voice.
Okay. I'm not. I'm a little curious because it's only just connected to me now when I realized that things aren't meant to be coming from the Fae during that conversation from Lyra and Dewey. But I'm going to summon.
The giants have flat out been ignoring Dewey. He has no gem. He may as well not be there.
Like,
yeah, and he's like you watch as he tries to talk to one of them, and they like just brush him aside. That to them, Dewey is a dream.
I'm gonna summon Kong Chi, who is a Fey Rev that actually comes from the Fey realm. The summon steed has changed a little bit, so you can choose whether it's coming from Fey, Celestial, or Fiend, and this has always been very Fey-like, this entity I've always felt. I'm going to sort of summon it. I'm not sure. I don't even know that there's meant to be a reaction from Dewey, but I just now sort of
there's more than that.
Wise connected that I can summon him. I've only been able to summon him recently. He was summoned recently, like all those changes.
As you reach out, the connection to Kong Chi feels a bit different, but different to how it did before. Something about your stone, something about the power that's been unleashed here has changed your connection to Kong Chi. And as you summon Kong Chi to you, I need you to roll me a D100. I want to see if, as Kong Chi is now a denizen of the Feywilds, see if something else is there too.
Oh, shit.
89.
89. As you bring Kong Chi through, Kong Chi's saddle is still in place. You can see the beautiful cloth that wraps around Kong Chi's belly, the belly band, engraved with the cloud work of the Eris Theocracy. And around Kong Chi's neck is a thin twine with a scroll wrapped up, just hanging around his neck.
What?
I'll grab the scroll. Does it have any, before I break it open, is there like a wax seal with any sort of indentation?
A wax seal with a spiral trefoil pattern in the very center.
I recognize this pattern.
Do you want to make me a history check?
Dewey? Are you there? Hello?
Dewey looks at the scroll, eyes wide, looks at Bart, looks at Lyra, looks at the scroll.
What did you roll? Does this look familiar to you? You look a bit surprised.
Oh, I have seen such a summons before.
A single.
I'm not even going to insight check that.
Hand it to him. Screw you, Dewey. Everything about you.
16.
Whoa.
But you have seen this symbol before. It's an ancient symbol, one that has been often tied to the Fae, the realm of the fairies. As you look at it with a 16, you know this looks like some sort of... I'm going to say, you know that this symbol, from your teachings in the Eris Theocracy, this is associated specifically with the Sealy Court.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, figures. Okay, well that's good. That's good. It's not the unsealy stuff.
Just keep in mind that the Fae work on a morality all their own. What we consider good does not apply to the Fae. What we consider evil doesn't apply to the Fae. The Sealy and Unsealy Court are good by Fae standards and evil by Fae standards. How that morality lines up with you guys, you have no fucking clue.
How much is my knowledge of like Fae/fairy shenanigans / bullshit Like, can I have your name? And then you say your name, and they permanently have
you
it,
no
like-
longer have your name. The Fae. So there are varying degrees of power amongst the Fae. There are very powerful Fae who, yeah, that sort of bullshit absolutely is the case. They might be like, "Oh, give me your hand," as they reach forward to like shake your hand, and your hand comes off in theirs, and they go, "Thank you," tuck it away in a coat pocket. Like, absolutely chaotic trickster. As you go down, there are less powerful Fae where that's not going to be the case. As you think this, Bartholomew, as you sort of take a moment to ponder this, Dewey looks a lot like an Eladrin. Yeah. But Fae can look like a lot of things.
Yeah. Seeing the letter, knowing that sort of a history, and really worried this is like either gonna bamf us out as a possibility, or be like Ronald Weasley receiving the letter from his mum.
How dare you steal that magic? Queen Titania's facing an inquiry at the court, and it's entirely your fault.
So I'm
Have you
in my
got
bag
those
for now.
goggles and the wand? Could you have a look and see what that could be? If you think
That'd be great. While we're traveling, that would be amazing. I don't want to touch this just yet. It feels like a bomb.
Not right now. We can have a look at this.
Okay,
We
perfect.
could ask Dewey to open it.
I'm
I
not
don't trust
touching
him
that.
either.
I'm not fucking touching that. Are you kidding me?
What's going to happen if we touch or open it?
You seem rather worried about this.
Come on.
It's
We-
probably
you
not
can start with us, you
enchanted.
may as well tell us.
It's probably
Probably
not
not.
enchanted. Magic often doesn't survive the planar travel the way you think it does. But I
And what was it probably not enchanted with?
Definitely or probably? Because
probably not enchanted. I cannot say definitely. I don't know.
Well, I've got a lot of probablys, do we?
I'm going to probably open it later. Let's get going.
You really should open that now. If you've summoned that here, they know. You should see who that's for as well.
I'm going to put a hand on his shoulder before I turn to leave, because you've done so much to convince me to listen to you so far. I'm going to turn and walk at the giants.
I'd actually be curious as well who it's for.
I mean, I'm curious as well, but
I'll hand it over.
Lyra. You hand out Lyra, hand it over.
Lyra, I'm even more worried about you opening it. If this guy's planning on putting a bag over your body and abducting you randomly in the night, what if this letter does the same thing?
I would never do such a thing. That is the actions of a cad and a coward.
I am happy for Harry, and I'll extend over, and maybe even assistance from Figment to give it a quick scan.
Very good. Yes, excellent. Good.
Yeah, Harry takes it, and is there a clear who it's to?
No name inscribed, just the wax seal of the trefoil.
You know, I haven't opened the wax seal yet. It's still wrapped up. Because I'm worried that as soon as something's going to happen.
Can you, Harry? Can you detect any sort of magic with the goggles or the wand, perhaps?
Harry pulls out his wand.
Yep.
Very good.
And bibbidi bobbidi boo detects magic.
Is that the word? Is that the magic word to activate your wand now?
Pretty sure that's what I used last time.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that. As you
actually have to say it, Harry just says bibbidi bobbidi boo as he
oh no, I don't like this.
points it.
As you touch the wand,
Disney's gonna sue us.
as you touch the wand to the scroll, Harry, yeah, your detect magic goes off. Oh yeah, this is enchanted for sure. It's enchanted with illusion magic.
Yeah, okay, yep, it's illusion magic. Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't
Do
want
you want me to put it in the bag of holding until we have a
Please,
chance to
please, because
have
that's
some sort of long rest and
could be changing
read it in?
The illusion magic could be changing the writing. It could also be that what we're flicking is the switch to something. We think we're opening a scroll. Let's just screw that for now. We'll work it out later.
We need to solve this
Your
problem
bag of
first.
holding. That sounds like an extra planar space, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I personally, not that you're listening to me anyway, I personally wouldn't put that in an extra planar space. It's just travelled through planar travel. You might want to be a bit careful putting it in personalised extra planar spaces. Just as I would also suggest not teleporting with it.
I'm going to grab it and just shove it in my belt. Just fine. We'll listen to you for now.
Thank you.
I mean,
That wasn't so hard, was it?
if we can always just wait for everyone to have a nap anyway, and then
Yeah.
Ember, you can use spell magic, right?
I think we're a little bit grumpy, by the sounds.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a little emergency to prevent a genocide here, so maybe let's focus on the.
While you've been speaking, you watch as Magadan holds out their hands, creates this almost like triangular shape in the center and pushes down, and a wedge of stone underneath you rises up and then begins moving forwards with Magadan in front. Yes, Harry.
Is the room that we're previously in with the circle, is that moving with us?
Yes, it's pretty much all made up of that.
Oh,
Magadan's
good.
not disrupting the stone.
Harry's very happy with that then. He just
Yes, okay, yeah. So the chest that has the stuff is still moving with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Harry doesn't panic.
Okay.
Excellent.
As the stonework begins speeding through the city, this triangular platform of stone that you are almost sailing atop of travels through the city faster and faster. As you get closer to the Duergar controlled section of the city, you can see that the command tower has had the top 3-4 stories are gone. An enormous crater remains. This sooty black ash covers most of the surface. And as you approach on the surface of this triangular force, you watch as this sudden flash of light from inside the tower goes off, and a tiny metallic sphere flies over towards you.
As it is coming and we've got a brief moment, I will whisper to Harry, the Duergar may try to reclaim what is theirs. I still feel like we need funds for us. Do you want to scoop up the entire chest and maybe even that desk? It's made out of the same tablets that Ember mentioned.
What are we gonna do with the desk?
How are you going to scoop up a desk?
The bag of holding, baby.
How are you going to fit it in the bag of holding?
One day at a time.
Like an anaconda.
It's not that wide.
No.
It doesn't open that much. It's not like a portable hole. A portable hole for sure.
Can Harry smack the desk with a booming blade or an eldritch blast
To break it.
into little pieces and put in the bag?
Like you can. Yeah.
Oh, I did just cast mending on it later.
I'm going to grab the carpet, chuck it over the chest, so that they can't see it at least.
No.
Like, can I fit the chest in there? Probably not. In the bag of holding.
Where?
It's a pretty big chest.
Is it like a pouch or is it?
If the bag of holding only opens up like a pouch. Hang on, let me pull up and get the exact
How do
diameter.
we fit weapons in it then? How do you fit like
Because you put them in point in. It's not. It's the width of the mouth.
Yeah,
that
but like a
opens up.
great axe.
But how do I
like
fit my crossbow in there?
2 feet in diameter is how large the mouth. It can go 2 feet in diameter. 2 feet square
That's pretty
diameter.
big.
Crossbow would definitely.
How big's the chest?
Hang on. So how big's 2 feet? 2 feet. I need metric. 2 feet is not. I can't visualize that easily. It's 60 centimeters.
That's like-
No, mate. It's not. Its chest is going to be
How tall-
taller than that. It's a big.
chest
It's
is
on
taller than
big
60.
feet. Yeah, it's a massive stone chest on
How
feet.
wide is it? Is it wider than 2
It's definitely
feet?
wider than 60 centimeters. Yeah. We're taking the depth.
Like, how heavy would the desk be as well?
The desk. We're talking like hundreds of kilograms. It's made of stone. It's
Yeah, so capacity is 500 pounds for the bag of holding. If
Yeah.
you try to put the desk in, it will explode. So, yeah.
Can Harry just quickly check if the chest is still booby trapped?
how do you check that?
Is my detect magic still working?
Yes.
Is that or is it just on an object?
Detect magic's still up.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to detect magic on the treasure chest.
The chest is still glyphed. The warding is still there.
Even though the ground that it was connected to is broken?
It's not the ground that the glyph of warding was cast upon.
Ooh.
Can Harry inspect where the glyph of warding was cast on?
Harry, it looks like it's emanating from inside the chest.
Is there any clear way that Obsidian Foot would have been able? Like, this mechanism obviously has a way of opening it.
Yes, definitely.
Is there any clue on what that mechanism is? Such as like
there's a keyhole.
key or
There's a keyhole.
Obsidian Foot's body, is it with us?
No, you did not loot the body. You left. You didn't loot the body. You left the desiccated demonic corpse and his foot. I also made a point. I also made a point of describing the foot as well.
We're going back at some point.
I also made a point of describing the foot as well. And Harry, the only reason you have Elder Hunmar's Heartstone is because at the end of the last session, you specifically said Harry runs over and picks up the Heartstone.
Yeah.
Harry fidgets with the Heartstone.
Wait, well, how big is Elder Hunmar's Heartstone?
As soon as Harry picks it up, it shrinks down to match the size of yours.
Gotcha.
Can I tap it against Figment Stone and see if anything happens?
Harry, as you tap it against Figment Stone, nothing happens.
No.
Can Harry rub it like how you do with like getting static electricity? Yeah,
Harry, you rub the two crystals against each other, and a moment later you watch as this gaseous, misty form begins to emanate out of the crystal as Figment emerges and goes,
Harry, that feels unpleasant, Harry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next time we'll use some oil first, and Harry puts the Heartstone away. Out of the sight of the
need
dice.
an adult?
as Figment disappears back into the Heartstone.
Yeah. So I'm gonna conceal this from the giants. So I have the
is anyone more concerned about the metallic object flying towards us?
Yeah, as the
it'll get here eventually.
Silvery metal sphere. Well, like so at this point, as the massive triangular section, the wedge of stone, crushes through part of the dwarven control city, you watch as shanty, these like almost like a shanty town of Zergwood and canvas is just broken and crushed underneath as this giant triangular wedge of stone comes to a halt right in the very center of the main street of this dwarven controlled section. There are the bodies of some dwarves, the bodies of some deep gnomes, the body of a tabaxi lying in the street having been crushed and broken. And as the wedge comes to a stop, the tower is about 100 feet in front of you and about 300 feet up. And you watch as this tiny little sphere, this little flash of light and a tiny sphere, and then it begins to drop towards you.
Question.
Yes.
Is it moving in a predetermined trajectory, or does it
like,
seem like it's moving
like an
on
arc. Yeah, like it's been
arc,
propelled from some force and is now gravity and velocity are now taking over.
I feel like we should try and shoot it out before it does get close to us in case it is a bomb.
Giants, that might be a boulder from some sort of siege weapon.
Or an explosive device, perhaps.
You watch as the tiny little sphere shoots down towards you. Watch as the stone giant, looks up, squints for a moment, and then takes a few steps to the side out of its trajectory. It is a very small boulder, as it just drops. I'm going to say at this point, I've given ample opportunity. You watch as the tiny sphere, as it flies towards you, explodes in a flash of light. Can I please get a Constitution saving throw from Harry, Ember, Bart, Lyra, Niles, and from the giant? The giant has disadvantage because this is a.
I thought it was just really far away, which is why it was tiny and it was about to get bigger.
No, it's just tiny. It's just a tiny little sphere.
Everyone is close to me, so the giant included will have a +4 from my aura.
That might work out quite well.
12.
Rolling? Oh, it is. It's just laggy.
Alrighty, we've got a. Is that an 8 from Harry? 9 from Lyra.
It was
4 from Ember.
+4.
Okay, so we've got 12 for Harry, 13 for Lyra, 8 for Ember, 12 for Bartholomew, and 13 for Niles. For the Stone Giant, I also did not roll well. That is going to be a 6 for the Stone Giant. All of you are affected by this. None of you pass the DC. As this sudden blast of light goes off, you are immediately blinded as the light burns your retinas. You find yourself squinting against it as this sudden, almost fluorescent. Yes?
Before it's too late, can I use the stream advantage just in case?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, can I use my advantage from last session?
Yes, you can.
Good.
Natural 1.
16.
Hey, okay. 20 is better. Oh no, it's already got it included. 16.
Hey,
does that mean your 8 already had it included? But
Yeah, it did. It did.
Oh no! You were very quiet then.
When you said
still-
it,
still
I was like, "There's no
yeah.
point correcting him." Because
Natural 20 Niles. Okay, the two
Yeah.
Owlin. Look, it makes sense that the two creatures with the best visual acuity and the most reactive pupils would be able to quickly ward against this. You've also got double eyelids. I think owls have 2 sets of eyelids as well, so that
the
helps.
first one just closes, and me and I'll look at each other.
As the skin shoots over. As this bright flash goes off, you watch as your companions squint against the light. The stone giant above, you hear them cry out in giant, this like wailing cry. As the light fades, this almost like flash of phosphorus, you hear voices call out, "Charge!" And then from inside the tower, you watch as a familiar figure rushes out, leading a little column of gnomes.
Oh,
Noose rushes towards you,
that's
dressed
funny.
in very, very mismatched, ill-fitting Duergar armor. It looks like they've raided some of the Aarakocran armor stocks, some of the giant alloy stocks, and have tried to
cool.
strap them to themselves. And as they rush forwards with little weapons held aloft, a few of them holding stones ready to throw, you feel a stone bounce off your chest. But as you look down and you watch as Noose comes to a stop, looks up, raises the helmet and goes, "Oh, hey guys. Sorry about that."
Noose, why are you here? I thought we were going to handle this.
Well, it's a long story, but yeah, I didn't really think we didn't think we should stay out of this one, and we found a couple more gnomes who'd escaped, and they led us through a series of tunnels, and we've
One
been.
sec. I'm going to turn towards the screaming, crying giant before it goes and squishes some deep gnomes.
Yes. Oh, the giant let out a wailing cry and has stepped backwards, covering its eyes as you watch as it drops down into this kneeling position and pulls stone up around it, almost forming a defensive shield.
In giant, it was a mistake, friend.
As you call out in giant, remember the giant dialect you speak is what
I know.
Ember
not
and
a
what
broken one.
Threign. It's yeah. But as you call out, you watch as the giant raises its head, squinting through.
Mistake.
These are not the dwarves.
They
It
were
is the-
scared.
The deep gnomes, they were afraid.
This word, gnomes, I do not know it, but I will hold my hammer, hold my club, if these are not our foes. But they must leave the city at once.
They are a new species and were brought here forcefully. These are the
calling
slaves.
you?
I'm
We've
in.
been around here for years, mate. You hear Noose call out from behind you.
No, not as long as the stone giants.
Also-
I think you should.
Does New speak giant?
You don't speak giant that fluently, so I'm assuming you switched to common. You know this giant speaks common.
Okay. They are the slaves. Noose, please shut the fuck up right now. We're trying to save your life.
All right, sure. Jeez, save someone's life.
I just I'll fly over to Noose and be like, there's some things you probably need to know, and I kind of try to fill Noose in with
Well, hang on, before we do that stuff, that there's still some more camps of gnomes. When the giants all retreated, we pulled back into the command tower. The Duergar inside are mostly dead. Threin's around here somewhere too. He was beating the shit out of some of those Duergar.
Where are the camps that are still being occupied by the Druid?
Up the main street. If you head down that way and then turn towards the left, I think after a few streets there should be some. That's where the fighting was last. I just had to get this lot out of danger, get them back to the tower.
I'm going to stride over to the closest Duergar near him and check their neck.
Yeah. Just have you found a way to disable the collars?
No. Why? Is there a problem with the collars?
Are they all still
Yeah, there's a
behind?
remote attached to them that will blow up the heads.
They're all still wearing the collars.
Oh shit!
Do we still have that device?
Oh, the
Can we
switch.
found any else's?
I
Yeah.
think. Does Ember have it? I think.
And
I thought I gave it to Niles.
I have it.
so-
Yeah, Niles has it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, Niles, as you
I
pull it
played the
out,
device.
you can see the 3 buttons.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, before we push any buttons,
I'm not-
are there, as much as I hate to say, are there any dead Smith and Evelyn around that haven't had their heads exploded so that we
Yes.
can take a look at how this collar is constructed?
Yeah,
okay.
there are, absolutely. Not just Dead for Diblin, there's also, there's the Tabaxi nearby too that has the collar still on.
Oh yeah.
Are the buttons
Can I?
colored?
Not coloured. but each of them has a runic symbol in Dwarvish.
Okay. Lyra, look for the runes on the collars.
Last time I asked if there was any labels on them. I read Dwarvish.
Yeah, no, it's not. Sorry, let me rephrase. It's a runic symbol that looks like Dwarvish. It's not. Sorry, I misspoke. There. It is not a dialect of Dwarvish that you speak. It's these runic symbols that look very similar to Dwarvish runes, but they look like they've been changed or personalized a little bit. Because it's possible, Harry, that Deep Dwarves might have a slightly varied version of the written language that you've learned from the surface.
I look at Noose and I sort of show him the control device. Do these symbols on these buttons look familiar to you? Have you seen these before?
You watch as
Don't push any of the buttons.
Don't touch any of them.
Boom, boom. As all the heads explode one after the other. No, you watch as Noose leans forward and looks a little bit closer. Sorry, Noose was the older male. Sorry. This is Gook. Sorry, this is Gook, the younger female.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I was using the complete wrong voice. Sorry, it's Gook.
Okay.
Sorry, this is Gook. Noose is the older. Sorry, I had a complete mental breakdown on who was who. Gook is the younger female gnome. As she looks and squints at them, she goes, this one looks a little bit similar. This is the one we write on. Well, not we, but when I've seen the Duergar use some of our blasting powder, they do a similar symbol to set it off. This one in the middle.
Oh, okay. So we don't
not push.
press the one in the middle. So Gook, I do have to explain that there's a bit of a precarious situation we've got here.
Quietly, Niles, as I'm going to eye towards the ones behind him.
I know they're rigged to blow, but like we've taken out the main control panel. That's why I took the control tower with this lot. The way that the dwarven magic works, it has to go through a central node. We took it out. It's broken.
So this won't work.
Do you say that, Harry?
No.
Oh my god.
Well, it won't work for they won't work for long distances. Like someone can't activate all of them anymore. They'd have to get up close and like point it and then press the button.
If they had a remote and got close.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any of these remotes around?
I don't know.
One
I mean,
camp.
this kind of seems like the sort of thing you wouldn't want to have like crap loads just lying around in case one of the slaves got their hands on them. So,
Didn't the Duergar guard? She mentioned it's the leaders of the parties
champions.
essentially were the one that had the remotes.
right, well, that makes sense.
Can I sort of drag one of the bodies like? I kind of wanted to get it like more than like 30 feet away from the Niblin just in case.
Yeah. I'd say what you're doing, and I hand you the remote and be like, good.
No, not the remote. I'm gonna try and use abuse water, or like the canister of abuse water because I don't have the spell anymore. And just saturate the fuck out of the coal. Like try and get it into any airflows because you know that you need air to get it to catch fire.
Right.
Maybe.
And I'm gonna try and saturate the gunpowder.
Yeah.
And then see if I can get help trying to like snap it off kind of thing.
As you pour water through the mechanism with your decanter of endless water, you watch as the seams begin to bubble up as water seeps through. And as you give it a bit of a shake, you hear a sloshing noise inside.
Maybe we try pressing the button now, just in case it does explode.
That's what I was thinking. But what about proximity? Are we too far? Are we too close?
I feel like this is all still too risky at the moment.
Yeah.
I was just gonna try and break it open.
Yeah.
And by me, I mean maybe someone that has a little bit more muscle than me.
As Lyra's doing that, I'm guessing it took a little bit filling the water in, at least like a minute or so. I would like to kneel down to, now that I know that is...
it's Gook, yeah.
It's Gook.
Yeah.
Did you find... Is she behind you somewhere?
I haven't found her yet, but the others have seen her. She was one of the northern camps, so I was going to head there next.
Excellent.
Lyra, what do you think we should do with this collar? I can try and force it open, but I'm a little bit weak from the previous fight.
Yeah, I'm just afraid if we push any buttons, what if they're still too close?
Oh, I don't want to push any buttons. I was going along with your idea. Maybe we could force it and see what happens. Ember, do you have any ideas?
Well, I mean, I was kind of thinking that, again, I like using Flicker for these kinds of things. He's pretty durable. We can either get him to try and burst it open, or if he can grab onto a collar that's on one of the corpses, is he able to take that with him without the corpse?
Ooh. Or take
Use
the
your
person
Ember like
without
it's
the
cool.
collar.
Exactly.
Just test it on the one that's full of water, just in case. And then if it works, we can, very, very slowly.
Ferry everyone out with Flicker.
So I'm going to turn to Flicker and be like, buddy, do you want to give it a go? He'll probably shake his head and be like, come on, you'll be fine.
You watch as Flicker tries to burrow into your coat, underneath your furs and underneath your armor, Ember, into your orange scarf around your neck. Flicker tries to burrow in, you like grab Flicker by the tail, pull it back out. Like, no, this was not a request. Go and deal with the collar.
Forcing Flicker into like the Hurt Locker moment.
That's
Actually,
like a little spoon.
I have a question. Does Flicker exist like
All the time now.
All the time now?
So
Part of the new rules, yeah. He's kind of he's a familiar normally, so he can do a couple of little things around. But if I want to actually use my magical teleportation, I have to use one of my wild shapes to activate it.
So we haven't
Is he-
described this yet, but I was going
Is
to
he
describe
Fey
it in
in
the next
nature
battle.
as well?
Yeah,
Is he what?
I don't think he's Fey in nature. I think he's...
I have to double check now. I'm not exactly sure. I don't believe he was.
No.
But
Okay.
But,
I was wondering if it was similar to like Kong Chi sort of thing.
Yeah, so Flicker now is like Flicker's a Pokemon all the time now, and then when Ember goes into battle, he can use a Mega Stone to upgrade Flicker to like the battle form, and like
I choose you, and he goes out.
yeah.
That's
So that's
so
the,
cool.
So
Okay.
there's actually, it's funny you bring this up. I'm also currently working on a new evolution for Flicker, which will be the battle form. I'm drawing that in the background. I've been putting together the inspiration board for that, and I'll get to work on that as soon as I finished off Figment. But yeah, we'll have a new form for Flicker very soon, which looks a bit better. The one that we've got now was always kind of more of a placeholder until I had time. I don't have time, but I'm fully aware now that if I don't just do it, I'm never going to have time. it's just my life. So I want to make sure I do it properly. And so I'm leaning much more into the kind of the Ho-Oh Charmeleon design that we talked about originally, Sai. So kind of combining some of those elements.
Love it. So, I mean, look, let's send him in, see what he can do.
Flicker! As he wanders over towards them.
Good job, Flicker.
Go fuck yourself. As Flicker wanders over towards the collar.
Well, yeah, because technically, I think we can talk to each other. Anyway,
Yes, you can.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
he can talk to other people, but anyway.
But you've
that's fine.
got the speech of Beast and Leaf as a Firbolg, which means you can kind of talk to Flicker at all times anyway.
Exactly. So anyway, send him in, and look, he'll grab one of the dead gnomes and see if he can separate him from the collar.
As you fiery teleport away, as Flicker fiery teleports away, you watch as the collar flashes for a moment. There's a sizzle, and then you watch as a section of it burns with a bright white light for a moment before the whole collar begins to fall apart as it burns with this magnesium bright light as soon as the body is teleported away from it. Thought you had me there, didn't you, Owie? It doesn't explode. It just burns with this bright magnesium white light. And there's these few little...
You don't need to get around your neck or anything.
There's little tiny bits of the black powder that are dried out by exposure to the magnesium, dry out enough to then activate. But it doesn't explode. It's not enough. It's too wet. You saturated it. Well done. You're muted, Christian.
You're muted.
And the corpse's neck area still looks okay?
No, Flicker teleports it away. As soon as the corpse is away, you watch as the collar goes off. As soon as the body is away from the collar, it immediately detonates. There's this bright magnesium flash. It burns through part of the metal. There are a few as little bits of the black powder go off, and then nothing as the collar dies down and water begins to seep out from the gaps.
So more successful it looked like to separate them.
How many can Flicker teleport at once? / how many times can they do that?
He can do it as often as he likes, to be honest with you. And it's just, I mean, for corpses, it'll be whatever he's holding on to, but for people, it's just whoever's willing to go with him.
As long as Ember has wild shapes, Flicker can keep doing this for, I think it's like...
An hour at a time
Yeah.
per wild shape, yeah. An hour at the time? Something like that, yeah.
I don't think it's an hour for the battle form. I think it's 10 minutes.
If it's the same as... If it's
10
the same
minutes?
as...
I think it's 10 minutes.
Plant
But that's still,
Druid.
like, that's a good solid chunk of time.
Pretty sure.
Because your wild
Good.
shapes last for that. But I think the battle form of Flicker, I I think it's 10 minutes. I could be wrong.
Oh, double check. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirit manifest for 1 hour until it reduces to 0 hit points. So there you go.
1 hour. Yeah, so you're good to do this as much as you want for an hour.
All right.
Before we bunker down anywhere, we still are helping our friend up here, looking towards the stone giant. Gook, do you know where the Duergar are? Are they still at these, you said, northern camps?
Well, that's where the fighting was taking place last, just before the giants all pissed off. There was like this weird voice that spoke, and it like echoed through the whole city, and then all of the stone giants just at once turned and walked away. Threign then took off at a run towards the north.
Voice.
Voice?
Voice. And I'll point to the one with us.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Gook. Nice to meet you, voice.
He's not going to talk to you. You're a dream. Long story. Let's continue.
Pretty sure I'm awake.
Oh, the stone giant is a bit nuanced. It takes a little bit of explaining. We can talk about it on the way.
Well, should we get the collars off before we go to the camp, just in case the remotes are cross-signally?
How long is it going to take to get, like, how many are with him? Like, there was a sizable group that ran out, right?
Oh, it's only about 11. It's not a huge group. It's 11 gnomes.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can.
That many collars?
Lyra, obviously the middle button, we don't press that. The ones on the left and right, I'm not sure. Maybe there's one that turns it off and one that reactivates. I'm not sure. Don't know.
My assumption would be one is the individual detonation, the other would be like a mass detonation.
Let's get out. Okay, if there's not that many of them, let's get out those that are here with Ember and Flicker's help, and then with the remaining corpses we saw, like that unfortunate tabaxi over there. Why don't we test the buttons?
Oh god, I can't remember if I saw this or not.
Hello.
No, never mind. It's okay. I'm just trying to remember the previous campaign, the previous couple of sessions that we've had. Because did someone get a mask at some point?
One of the Stone Guard masks, the ones that they.
There was that mask in Obsidian Foot's office. Oh no, it was a belt. It was a belt.
It was the belt.
The
Bartholomew's got the belt. Yeah, I don't think you've put it on yet, though, have you?
I have put it on, but it takes metagaming in an hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't attuned.
What does the belt give you? Does it make you understand?
Slowly starts to turn him into a giant or into a dwarf.
No, but would it also give him the ability to understand the deep dwarven language?
Yes,
possibly.
It does. Yes, it does.
Well, okay, cool. All right. That's good to know.
Unfortunately, it'll take, I'm guessing, another 40 minutes.
You need to sit down and devote yourself to aligning your energy with because you've got to actually intentionally sit down and align your energy. You've got to attune to it. That's what you're doing for that period of time.
Don't quite have enough time for that. Okay. Well then.
How can we get the body? We get them out with Flicker's help, and then obviously we know that they're going to explode when that happens. So the other corpses here, they can at least help us save other lives, as gruesome as it is. And we test out those 2 remaining buttons.
The only thing I do worry about is that they kept saying that it had small controls for the other ones. We found this in Obsidian Foot's office. I'm assuming it's larger. I don't want it. I'm hoping that the range isn't fast.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. We get them out first, and then you're thinking if we press the button, does it affect the others that are in the northern camps?
Well, but Gook just said that they took down this relay, so it shouldn't be widespread anymore.
None of the long range stuff should be working. We took it down. It's unless they've got another one stashed away somewhere. But
we could even get.
Why would we decide this when we've got Gook here? These are your people. Do you want to decide what you'd want to do?
I think let's teleport them out and then let's not fuck around with the device that might blow our heads off. Personally, if I had to weigh in, you just teleported a corpse out of it. I'm like, great first start, but maybe let's get these fuckers out and then let's go deal with the rest of them. I don't want to mess with this stuff. This is deep dwarf technology. It's fucked. All of it's fucked.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to either. You do what you do. You do what you think is best. I think Flicker, if you want to start teleporting these kind of souls out, I think
making sure that the collars are all saturated so that there's no chance of fire.
Gook, where did you last see Threign?
He was running towards the north as soon as the other stone giants ran off. He was starting to shrink back down again to his normal size, so he took off towards the north, chasing after a group of Duergar.
Looks like that's where we're going then.
He'd taken a few hits. Like, he was sort of fighting on both fronts. I'm like, he kept trying to talk to the giants. I mean, we got here halfway through when the battle was going on, and I mean, he was kind of getting it from both sides. He was taking on some of the Duergar. I mean, the giants were sometimes wailing on him. It was pretty bad. Like, he looks like he'd taken a few big hits.
Threign would have enjoyed that. Trust me.
Glorious battle. He was laughing at first, and then he started to get this like look on his face that like he was shitting himself.
Oh, like what? Like a oh, and I do like a really angry like Threign impersonation.
Yeah, I mean, but mix a bit more fear in that, and you'll be right on.
Oh, really? Oh no, we should probably head there then.
I mean, he saw me though, gave me a wave, and then he told me to get the fuck out of here, which I did. I elected to ignore.
How long do you think it could take for Flicker to teleport these people?
11 people. You can teleport what? 4 or 5 at once.
Whatever fits in. Yeah, maybe twice, 2-3 times.
Oh, I reckon even 2 times will be enough. They're gnomes. They're quite small. They fit within 5 feet pretty easily.
Yeah, that
20 seconds.
Do we have any volunteers first? Because I don't want to, again, take too many necessary risks.
You watch as an elder gnome immediately raises his hand. You can see he's only got one arm. The other arm's been cauterized and bandaged. He holds up one hand and goes,
I'll go first.
Okay, well, thank you. And bring him out, standing with Flicker, and be like, you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Extra water for luck.
And then, yeah, do the teleport.
as soon as he teleports away and then appears next to you, you watch he immediately reaches up to grab at his neck. Collar's not there. The collar hovers in space for a second before dropping to the ground as the magnesium goes off. Again, you see that as these little blasts of gunpowder activate, but after that, nothing more.
Cool.
As I guess Ember splits off to the next group. I do want to head over to that old guy. I feel bad with his arm and being treated the same as me. Make sure you get out of here as quickly alongside all the other more youthful. And I'm going to give him 1 point of lay on hands.
Thank you. I've seen you before, haven't I? You were with us.
Previously, I managed to be one of the few lucky ones to get out of here.
I was on the scavenger team. You were down in the furnace level, weren't you? I remember. Covered in soot.
Tell me, old timer, did you ever go to a fountain or waterfall?
Fountain? There was a large stone fountain, northwest of here, I think it was. The building nearby had collapsed. Many objects had rained down and gathered and pooled the dry fountain bed. It was a rich picking spot.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. You've done more than enough. You deserve your freedom now.
It is good that Gook came. I remember when she was a wee little tiger. Lindenstone, our home, it seems like it's going to need a lot of us to help rebuild it.
An attitude like that.
Yes.
I think
while this is going on, I'm assuming Ember's like pew 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 pew, just teleporting all the gnomes out. Ember, just in case, if you're still here, Sai, could I please
get I am.
A spellcasting check? Is that Giz?
It is Giz. Hang on.
That's Flicker. You can hear Flicker making these little almost like protests as you're commanding Flicker to just teleport back to back to back.
Great. So you're happy for me just to roll like a produce flame or something like that?
That's perfect.
Use that.
Absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I need. 11.
An 11?
As you get through, the first teleportation goes perfectly. The second one, as it activates, you watch as 2 of the gnomes come through with their collars still attached.
Oh, no.
And you watch as there's a little beeping noise, and then the magnesium flare goes off on the collars of 2 of them.
Oh no!
What do you do?
Ooh.
Okay, Ember, I'm gonna get the water going. You get a healing spell going on each of them. Well,
It starts flickering, right? Like it's about to explode.
So they've been saturated with water, so you know the gunpowder's probably going to go like the other ones where it does these little sputters. It's the magnesium strip that's the problem right now.
Okay. Do we have time to talk, or is it like a single action?
This is a single action. As you see the collars glow, this has always been an immediate thing.
I'm going to press the right button. Right is right.
Well, on the joystick. I'll give it to you.
Two people are literally. It's a split-second decision.
Bartholomew, could I please?
They are going to get burns. They're not going to have their heads blown off.
Bartholomew,
I don't have revivifying magic.
can I please have I'm going to say this is an athletics or acrobatics check. It's going to be contested by Niles because it does sound like Niles is like, "Wah!" as you go to reach for the controller in his hands.
This isn't a moment to talk. Like it's about to explode, like bullet time.
Yeah.
This could be very interesting. And remember, they're all clustered together because as they're teleported, the two with the collars are teleported with their collars still on. A cluster of, let's say, 5 gnomes together. As you just press the button, you just slam your hand down, ready to press it. That's a 10 from Bartholomew. This might not actually...
You want me to roll a...
athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
No, it's going to be acrobatics for sure.
Oh, this is...
Well, that's my point.
I rolled a nat 1!
my point, Ellie, is like, yeah, we don't have time to even talk. Like, it's flashed, and we have almost a reaction, it feels like.
It's exactly right. Lyra, you immediately uncork. I mean, you've already got the decanter out, right? Decanter's out. You just uncork and begin spraying them with water. Not the full geyser, I'm guessing, but like close to it as you just begin saturating them.
Yeah. My plan is that if I can get the magnesium to oxidize with the water over it, it'll take the heat away so it doesn't burn their skin.
Yeah. So you're in there. You're in the mix as well, right close to them as well.
Yeah.
As Bartholomew just slams his hand down, Niles, you go to pull the trigger away, but you actually go in the wrong direction and you slam the trigger harder into Bartholomew's hand.
Oh no!
And for a moment, it looks like he's going to press more than one button. Bartholomew, just move your head at the last second as Niles tries to pull it away and again, instead slams it into your hand.
I probably am not expecting this. I kind of react weirdly. Yeah.
As you smash down, the button depresses. There's a momentary hiss as the light begins to burn even brighter around the collars.
Oh, no.
Time seems to slow for a moment as you look. Lyra, you're right up close to this. You hear this tss, and you watch as a seam opens along the side and a thin blade pokes right up. And then the collars split off.
Right is right.
You got lucky, you punk. You got lucky.
Wow.
Would you like to know what would have happened if you... No, you may still press the left button.
No.
We will wait. You are
Holy
lucky.
shit.
That is...
So wait. Okay. Do all the collars do that in the immediate the two that were affected?
all the collars that are within 20 feet of you, all of them
They all
come
That's
apart.
Important. Can I really quickly, because this is all happening in close proximity, right?
Yeah.
Can I have a look around and see on some of the dead, the corpses out the side that have the collars on?
Yeah.
Can I roughly gauge the diameter of this effect based on some of the bodies that we've
About
seen?
20 feet. Within 20 feet of you, Niles, all of the collars and then come off. The ones beyond that, nothing happens.
I'm probably going to fall on my knees.
Gook turns to you and slaps you. And then goes, "You're fucking lucky that worked."
They were going to die. I'm sorry.
They were going to die.
As you just drench the gnomes, Lyra. You slowly put the cap back on.
We tried putting water in it before and it didn't work. How do we know that the
Stop
water
them
was going to
exploding. The water, it stopped the collars exploding. You got lucky.
The magnesium.
The collar still went off the exact same way on that dead body over there when we put water on it. The water did nothing.
No, these explode. That was just the magnesium strip inside. It activates the gunpowder. The gunpowder was drenched. It didn't. Do you want to see what they really look like? And she grabs the thing off Niles and points at one of the corpses and activates it. One that Lyra hasn't put water into. You watch.
Shit.
Gook is pissed. She just grabs it, marches over, and slams the button down. And she points it. You watch.
I swear we haven't put water into some of the other ones, and there's just those sputtering sparks.
You watch as the magnesium activates, and the head explodes with this dull thump as the gunpowder goes off. As bits of brain and blood rain down around you, Gook turns and throws the remote back to you, Niles, and looks you in the eyes and goes, "You got lucky. Really lucky. Or we'd be having a very different conversation right now."
We never specified that we were putting water on the ones that Ember was teleporting.
Yeah, Lyra did.
I did.
And Lyra was there with the decanter of water the whole time, drenching them in water.
Lyra did.
I only heard the part about the body on the ground, not the others.
Then that's all Bart heard as well.
Okay.
Lyra did say, like, I'll put water on all of them.
And I even joked about the gnomes getting drenched in water and being like, ah. It's like Lyra goes, "I'm just decanters of water on them."
There's all of that then.
You get some water. You get some. Everyone. Gets some
This
water.
is the moment when I come back and edit it, and I edit that bit in slow motion as Ali goes, "Lyra pours the water on the gnome." This is the bit where I come back and edit that, and then I cut to you, and you're like, "I didn't hear that." And then I have the sunglasses slowly lower onto Ali's face. I'm probably not going to do that. It's a lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
Well, now that that's sorted, we should probably head to the north.
Yeah, follow me. As Gook takes off at a run.
I just look at the stone giant. What's his reaction to all of this?
You can see the stone giant's just really not giving a shit about all of these gnomes. It's looking around, trying to find signs. You watch as it looks into a building, slowly peels back the roof of the building, looks inside, slowly puts it back again, and it basically is using this time to look around for any of the Duergar.
Good. I think it might be faster if our giant fellow friend here.
Gook runs back. Okay.
This might be a little hard. Let me get the giant to take us to where we need to go. I haven't quite thought of that. Ideas?
Start walking and see if he gets bored.
Can I use like any of my with my resonance or anything? Am I able to like sort of draw like using the same idea that we did last time? Like,
the giant has spoken in broken common and not bad common, like a very old form of common to you a couple of times now. Try calling
I again go to Gook. Do you know? Can you point in the direction?
Yeah, just along the road. It's just north of here.
I look up at the giant and go, "Can you send us down the road?" And I say it quite slowly.
You watch as the giant turns, looks down, and goes, "Yes. Are there more up ahead? More that are living we need to remove?"
There may be those that we need to remove and those that we need to save.
Eliminate?
I will call my siblings, my cousins. We will remove these stains from our city. You watch as the giant reaches out, holds up its stone and clenches it. As a light bursts forth, a trail shines between the stone teeth. And you begin to watch as 8 more stone giants emerge from the darkness, gliding across these almost like rivers of stone as they get closer and begin moving through the city. It's Magadon who's with you, sorry. So Magadon has a much higher voice, sorry. I will call my brethren, my sisters, my brothers, my cousins. And then as Magadon looks down, "Come, we will go to this camp to the north, remove these blights from our city." Harry.
Can we be short resting? I mean, like, Harry hasn't really been involved. Can Harry just, like, have a sit down and, like, rest? Or is that not enough time for that?
I don't think you've got enough time for that, sorry, Harry.
Yeah. Harry sits and tries to rest.
Like the distance from where we are to where the north is, like along the road, like would it be like 10 minutes?
You don't really know how far away. All Gook has said is she last saw Threign running towards the north. At this stage, you don't know how far away that is, how long it's going to take you. It's hard to know.
But like would we know that we're like in the southern part of the city, or like in
So
middle
the
of
Stone Giant City
or...
stretches as far as the eye can see in almost every, not in almost every direction, to the
okay.
northeast.
So we're not like on the outskirts or anything. We're like kind of in the
Yeah, so sorry, you are kind of on the outskirts. The Dwarven controlled city is on the very outskirts of the city. This northern pathway is heading almost like on a slight parallel into the center of the city. So not quite the center, like 45 degrees off the center of the city. So you're heading deeper into it to follow Threign.
Okay.
But I mean, when you climbed to the top of the control tower and looked around, the sections that looked like they were Dwarven controlled, i.e. had torches and people moving through them, looked like it was roughly sort of like 1,000 feet into the city. Like the area wasn't that big.
Okay. So it's probably going to be like by the stone transport.
5 minutes, 2 minutes tops,
Yeah.
if that. As the stone giant creates the wedge once more, as Magadon creates the wedge, pulling it forwards and then strides forth, with you being pulled along behind. The other Sverniblin are just left behind. Magadon has no interest in bringing them to, as the Sverniblin kind of left behind, like looking, and then begin to move back into the control tower as Gook, who's sort of standing up next to you, Niles, sort of clutches onto your robes, goes, "Oh, right, okay. Yeah, they'll be fine back at the control tower. We were hiding out there for the last sort of 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, I'm sure they can hold the position there where we go and check on the northern.
We've got their blasting powder supply, so yeah, I think we're pretty good. And we found a whole bunch of smoke bomb grenades.
Oh,
yeah, sorry about throwing that at you, by the way. That was a magnesium flash. Sorry.
No harm done.
I just saw the giant. I didn't realize it was you lot.
That's fine. As this is happening, like Niles is kind of talking to Gook, whatever, but Niles is sort of like look around because there's something in the back of his mind that he's still thinking about, and I don't think he's like thinking about this. I'm just gonna look around a little bit like worried in the back of my mind. Is there any sign or anyone looking at us like another Owlin in black that might have a vested interest in this whole thing? I'm going to look around for Nyx and see if she's like watching.
Probably worth doing. I'd love a perception check.
Yeah.
Or investigation check, your choice.
Definitely going to be a perception check.
Can Harry join looking around for like...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
21 Niles. 21's pretty good. 21,
Also
Harry. As both the predator and the prey cast their gaze upwards into the stalagmites and stalactites, looking around for trying to see signs of Nyx. Niles, you catch no movement, no telltale rustle of silent feathers across the stone. But you do see, as you're traveling along, column of dead Duergar. It looks like a group of the Stone Guard, along with a couple of other Duergar. Just down a side street, you and Harry both catch a glimpse of this over towards the right-hand side as the giant speeds past. These Duergar haven't been crushed. They've been torn apart. Claw marks across their faces.
Okay.
Sections of their clothing ripped and shredded, blood welling to the surface. Niles, one of them is even missing their heart, empty chest cavity that you catch in that glimpse. And you know one of Nyx's moves when she's really pissed off. 2 claw attacks to the chest. The first to break the ribs and shatter the bones. The other to pull the flesh and the heart clean out of the chest.
Yeah.
And show it to them before they die?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Kalima style.
I'm going to say, yeah, for sure. Yeah, to show it to them before they die. Kalima. Nyxima.
Niles, do you remember what she wanted? She wanted the armor, right?
Yes, well, she was the contractor. She was the one that wanted the armor.
Yeah. So, do you know? Maybe we should find out where they're storing the meal and prevent her from getting it.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Gook, I can see you're wearing some of that enriched alloy there.
Yeah, we took it from some of the Duergar, and there was a little like an armory for the stone guards in there. Threign helped cut down a whole bunch of them. Nah, not very many sets. Like maybe like 3 or 4 sets. Are these like dwarven sets as well? That's why the stuff doesn't fit. There were a couple of sets in
so
there, though,
they-
that looked like they were meant to, like, strap onto something. Like, I don't know. They were, like, fan-like shaped. And there was, like, these weird claw ones as well.
That would probably be for Dix then. And
There was only, like, 2 or 3 of those sets, though. There wasn't very many. Is this your armor? Did you get a set of this armor made?
No.
I mean, you would look pretty cool with it, though.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm pretty short.
I meant Niles, but
Niles would look pretty cool in it. Yeah.
I don't really need that armor. I move better without being impeded by anything, even the enriched alloy, as much as it seems quite light. No, that armor's not for me.
You know who wouldn't look very rad in the armor though? Your cousin Nyx, beating the creep out of us. So maybe we should make sure she doesn't get it.
Well, that's a good point. She will definitely want the payment due. I don't know where she is or what's going on. In hindsight, I probably should have followed her out of the keep when we had the chance, but she got out of there pretty quick. I still feel like that might be something we have to deal with later.
Yeah, we should try and collect it if it's still there after we've resolved everything here before opening that Fey letter. Yeah,
there
and
might
we
be
also
several-
look at Obsidian Foot's body and see if there's anything good there, because we kind of got sent flying.
I'm surprised you didn't go over there and have a look at the body.
I didn't get a chance. I was talking to the giants, but
You had Figment out and all of that. Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
actually.
exactly. Next time, we'll go back.
You watch as Harry holds up his robotic hand made of the same enriched alloy you've seen around the place. As he like holds out his hand, I had Figment. As he holds it up.
I still have to get used to that. That's a little bit. Are you sure you're not in pain? That looks quite nasty. Not gonna
Harry like bites at it with his teeth as if like how you check metal.
Oh yeah.
Is it hard or is it soft?
Hard.
Like, do I feel my my skin and bones, or is it
as you bite into it? It doesn't feel like your skin and bones. You feel the pressure of your teeth. You feel the pain of it, but you also feel the pain in your teeth as you try to bite metal. There's sensation along this, Harry. Touch and pressure are definitely there, but the skin, the metal doesn't yield like skin does. If you were to keep biting, your teeth would break before this does.
Yeah, well, I mean, it only hurt because I just bit it, but it doesn't hurt normally.
I mean, there is one thing to consider. If Nyx is here to collect the armor, I don't know what her plan was to get it all out of the Underdark. That would require some sort of logistics. I'm sure the Silverwinds might have been able to send a convoy or something, but logistically, it would be a little bit hard. So we might have a bit of an opportunity to find them later and perhaps get them ourselves. I doubt that only she can do it, unless she came with others.
Are we only traveling with one of the stone giants, by the way, or how are we moving?
Just
the
one.
other one stayed back where it was.
So there's now 8 stone giants patrolling the area, moving around. You can see as you look behind you, Ember, you can see one of the stone giants pick up a still struggling Duergar. As it picks it up, it just hurls it over the city, and you watch as the Duergar flies over the edge of the encampment and disappears over one of the edges of the ravine.
Damn.
And the stone giants, I'm just because I might have missed some of this. They communicate to each other just by speech. They don't have like any other connection.
They can communicate through the heartstones, it seems.
While everyone else is talking about this, I'm just going to walk up to the stone giant that's with us leading. I can speak giant, so I mean, other people. I'm just going to speak to him in giant and say, thank you for assisting with us. Some of my colleagues sound like they're concerned potentially about some of your alloys being taken. Would you mind sending maybe one of the giants to check where the stronghold might be and make sure it doesn't go missing?
Stronghold? Which stronghold would this be?
Whichever one, Obsidian Foot, the one that was trying to trick you, might have been sending this material to reshape. I'm assuming some of the stone giants were used to do it.
No, we were kept away from most of the manufacture. The mind, the trickery he put upon our minds, made us think that we were in the city as we once remembered it. That there was a special excavation, some special project taking place here that he was overseeing directly. We were convinced that the dwarves were a new type of helper. to work for us.
Okay. I mean, if you don't mind sending someone to that area just to make sure no one's going in and out, there's no movement.
We are
that
in it
might be
now.
handy.
We are traveling through this section of the city now. If there were any places where items of value were stored, I would not know exactly where.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And I'm just going to finish conversation and walk back to the rest of the group and be like, I don't think we know where the armor is, so if Nyx is with it, it's a bit hard to tell.
Fair enough.
It's at this moment you hear the sound of Flicker furiously unleashing his anger and rage. No, it's at this moment as the stone giant brings the triangular piece of stone that you're standing upon, begins to accelerate. Suddenly, the buildings in front of you, the enormous stone spires, open up to reveal a large, almost like a courtyard, not too dissimilar from the one in the very center of the city, but much, much smaller. Standing, half sitting atop a pile of bodies, is a familiar figure. White hair matted with blood, beard braid partly torn out, clothes ripped, covered in scratches, bruises, and cuts. Leaning heavily on his great axe, you see Threign. Underneath him, pile of Duergar bodies, one of which is still trying to crawl away as Threign leans on his axe, panting, and looks down at it. You are a little shit. As he pants and looks down at the dwarf before slowly pushing himself up. He goes, I thought cutting your legs off would have been enough to dissuade you. Clearly it is the head. And then as he raises his axe up, he pauses and looks at the lot of you as you begin emerging, the stone giant striding forwards. He looks up at the stone giant as the stone giant steps on the Duergar with a very final thump, and then looks down at Threign, looks back at you and looks back at Threign and goes, You are giant kin. Which is Threign, with his axe still raised, slowly lowers it, attaches to his back, leans forward and goes, Well, you lot took your fucking time.
Yes,
Seriously,
stuff happened.
do you have any idea what I've been dealing with here?
Killing things?
Oh, a lot of Duergar. And some of these ones attacked me too, as he points up at the stone giant. Do I need my axe?
Not anymore. There was a devil, and they sort of convinced the devil had convinced the stone giants that Elder Hunmar was telling them to do stuff, but it wasn't Elder Hunmar.
We
it's the whole thing.
dream no more. No, you go, Matt. What was that?
Mindy windy things, Threign.
Maybe dream no more was better. Mindy windy things. Oh, all right. We go kill Obsidian Foot now. We got giants on sides. That was plan. We get giants on side, then we go slave dirty foot person.
Well,
Yeah,
Threign.
it.
Yeah, about that. We dealt with Obsidian Foot already.
What? I thought we were going to do this together. Why do you not bring me with you for this?
We would have loved for you to have been there, Threign, but the stone giant kind of just picked up the whole room we were in. And,
Yeah, no, I saw that. It was bullshit. I rushed over to find you. The tower was swarming with many Duergar who attack me, so I killed them. And then giants come and start attacking the Duergar. And then some of them start attacking me, so I killed them. But there's so many of them. And then I tried to save the deep gnomes, because I think, well, you have all fucked off. You told me I now miss best fight. Well,
I mean,
maybe not. Maybe my fight was best.
It wasn't that good.
How good? It wasn't that good?
Yeah, no, you didn't miss out on much.
It wasn't.
What
It wasn't like he was
Hmm.
standing on top of Elder Hunmar's shoulder, who was reincarnated in probably the greatest stone giant of all time. No, you didn't.
Yeah,
spot.
he's only one Duergar. What? Take all 5 of you to kill one Duergar?
he did
I've killed like
transform into
30.
But he did transform into a demon. That was pretty cool.
So you do have cool fight without me.
well, but I'm sure the Duergar were very tough, and the stone guard.
One of them had
Mars
this big blade that rotated. Look, it cut my arm. As he holds up, you can see chunks of flesh are being gouged out as he kicks this little device down at his feet. It looks like this long, almost like a wide circular sword blade, but covered in these sharp barbs attached to some sort of chain around the outside of it. You can see it goes inside this
Harry picks it up.
big... It's a chainsaw, yeah.
Can Harry pick it up?
Harry, it's like it's like 200 kilograms. You go to pick it up. It's so heavy as you try to lift this thing, and you can see that it's still attached. The arm of the Duergar that is still inside part of this machine. It looks like his hand is inside the machine, and you can see part of the machinery attaches to a large backpack on his back. Oh, sorry, Harry. You want to use it? It was working for some time after I smashed his head, so I use him as weapon for a bit. But it stopped working when when part of his spine and back fell out.
You know, if you enough, I just had an image of just me holding a big giant saw on a chain. But it's fine.
Oh, you would be good chainsaw rabbit.
I think so too.
Harry,
Mhm.
your hands. It's gotten bigger.
Yeah, what about it?
You've got your.
I've been working out.
No. Why is it metal?
Oh yeah. About that, I plugged it in the fight, and he got bigger, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. You didn't miss out on anything, Threign. It's all right.
I must say though, you did miss out on Bart laying down a very impressive strike on our foe.
Yeah. What kind of strike bot? How do you where do you target? Neck, kidney, spleen, lungs, pancreas.
The entirety of its chest.
Nice. Good.
And
Nice big
and
targets.
also-
The Darrow that we saw that first time, I finally got to do that against something worthy.
And you have foot as trophy?
We need to
No.
go back and get it.
You left the foot behind.
Well,
And everything else.
we wanted to.
Buried. Yeah, we weren't ready to leave, and
We wanted to come and find you, Threign. That's why we had to leave in quite a hurry.
Oh, well, why you worry about me? I kill many Duergar. Now, I see stone giants cleaning up after mess. I have not found Olsford Niblin. There are others down in the lower levels. If we are still going to do this, unless you want to send the giants down, I can get the word to the gnomes.
Well, we probably should go down there. We have a way of disarming the hollows, you see.
Oh, that is good. I have seen them go off. It is not pretty.
Wait, what really?
Yeah, Bart.
Yeah, I was too slow with one of the groups. I tried to get there quickly enough, but the Duergar activated it. 3 of the gnomes.
do you know which button he pressed to activate it?
The center button.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they pressed the button in the middle. I was right on top of them. I almost had them. They pressed the button, and 3 of the gnomes who I was trying to get out of their grip, they just were gone.
Hmm.
How is Threign looking? Like on a sort of like a
Hurt.
health
Really
wise,
hurt.
like
Yeah. Threign's looking hurt. He's
I'm gonna use my
fought
last-
quite a number of Duergar by himself.
yeah. I'm gonna sort of pat him on the shoulder, or the arm, the lower arm, whatever the hell you can.
Yeah, you can reach
and I'm gonna use my
forearm
last
only.
spell slot to give him a cure wounds.
I would have tried to beat you there. I mean, I don't know how many spells you used last time, Owen, but I had plenty left over.
I've marked them off, the ones that we used.
Oh, you have? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
So you're good to go.
33 from Cure Wounds.
3rd level.
Damn.
Upcast. As you cast the magic, you watch as a number of the wounds begin to knit back together across Threign's body as he lets out a big sigh. Oh, let's feel better. All right, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Although I cannot get any bigger, just so you know. The big giant Threign. I am stuck at this size now. I use it all.
Oh, no problem.
Bart,
should we
you were
find
from the
something?
lower forge levels, were you not? That's where you were kept, down at the furnaces.
Yes.
Do you know the way? If I get you to the opening, to the entrance, can you lead us down?
Yes, I can. We're traveling, however, to the northern sections. We were planning on meeting with any of the surviving Duergar, but
There are not many surviving Duergar. Well, as there... I mean, I thought the agreement was over when they started attacking giants.
True. We were hoping, however, that any survivors, one, we could possibly let them go,
Kill
have
them
no
for
more
sport.
deaths
Oh,
possible.
sorry.
I was thinking about putting collars on them, actually.
Second, possibly negotiating. They may still be holding hostages. They may still be Swift Noblins in danger.
Yeah, they are cowardly. They would do this. Who is Twink with you?
The collars.
What is this Twink elf you bring? As he looks at Dewey.
The Twink elf. Oh, this is Dewey, a friend from the Feywild, we think.
He doesn't like blood.
Oh, pansy. Yeah, Twink was right. Twink was generous. Which is Dewey goes to introduce himself. Here's that guy's like, it's so rude here. Do you think, after all I have done to help out, or the generous advice I've given?
I'm so sorry, Dewey. I will make you a cup of tea when I get a chance. This is just extraneous circumstances, I must say.
You watch this
Now
above
that
you.
I realise,
Yeah, you go.
hasn't it been more than an hour?
It has.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
has
not
it
bad.
been more than an hour? No, we're
I don't know.
probably just approaching the hour mark, actually. Because the journey to the center of the city, because Dewey was summoned before the kind of combat broke out, before you went and investigated the room, so probably 20 minutes. It was 10 minutes to get to the center of the citadel, 10 minutes to get back. The fight went for, I think, about 8 or 9 turns, which is a couple of minutes.
Except I used Moonbeam during the fight.
Yeah, that's okay.
Which is
The
another
concentration doesn't seem to have a
concentration
play. I will keep an eye on the timing, but I don't need to worry about concentration. Dewey's a bit different.
It was just a moment of, I was like, wait a minute. Oops.
I think at that point, as you've reunited with Threign, getting ready to head down into the forge levels, the stone giants are continuing to move through the city, just peeling the stone back, moving it like it's a liquid, trying to locate any of the remaining Duergar, with the instruction to capture, not kill, for the most part. With one or two exceptions, like the stone giant who just picked up and lobbed Duergar over the chasm. I think that is a good place to wrap up for tonight. So we will be back next week with more Return of the Giants. But until then, you will have to stay safe and stay well, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You know the drill. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure you leave a review. Make sure you leave a comment. Give us a like. All the good stuff. All the stuff that works really, really well and helps us out. I'm going to bring us across for a raid in the meantime for those of you who are watching on Twitch, so do not go anywhere. But thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and I hope you have enjoyed tonight's session. It's been lots and lots of fun, and I always love it when players begin to realize some of the seeds that I've planted begin to grow into beautiful flowers as the players realize, wait a minute, Vice gave us these.
Yeah.
Mwah.
And also, just a shout out to Vicuda. I don't know if it's still online, but the 5 gift subs. That
Yes,
was amazing.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, let's go and raid Vicuda now. As a thank you. That seems fair. Let's go raid Vicuda.
Amazing.
All right, everybody. Stay safe. Stay well. We will see you all again next time. But until then,
Farewell, friends.
see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.